It's Aftershock right here on your Classic Metal Show with When Comes the Rain from the Burning Chrome release. And we kick things off there with Shadow Rider with We Stand Unbroken. And the Classic Metal Show stands unbroken for almost 23 years now. And coming to the mic, a guy who knows about being bent and broken at times, but always pops back up in good health. Ready to rock the night, my good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
What is up, man? How we doing tonight?
Are you ready to rock this shit?
Yeah, it's been a shitty day, so why not?
It's been a shitty day?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Nothing happened. 5th anniversary of my dad dying.
Oh, I see. So it's a reflective day.
Yeah, pretty much. One of those, watch a lot of TV. Keep seeing that image of your dad taking his last breath and then just fucking head turning sideways and being dead.
What channel was that on?
The Aiken channel. Aiken Home Movie channel.
Because I did watch a little TV today, and I don't recall running across that channel.
It was AMC, Aiken Movie Classics.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't watch that, so I guess I didn't see that gruesome visual.
Yeah, it's fantastic running that through your head during the day.
Well, sorry, my friend. I mean, that, condolences again 5 years later.
Dude, what are you going to do? It happens. It
does happen.
It happens that, I put a little thing on Facebook. I'm glad I'm in a shitty mood. I'm glad that it fucking still kind of hurts, because if it didn't, then it wouldn't have mattered. If my neighbor 3 doors down died, I wouldn't give 2 fucks.
That's a pretty good band. Not.
Just is what it is, man. It's never fun to go through it, but I'm sure I'm not the only one out here that has a parent that died.
No, I lost my mom when I was 21.
And you still think about it on the day, don't you?
You know what? To be honest with you, I gotta tell you, I don't always think of it on the day. I know It's July 5th, but I don't always think of it.
Yeah. Well, maybe you didn't care.
That could be the case. I don't know. I've been known to be a pretty hardened soul.
Yeah, that is true. You don't put a lot of love into much. Unless it's a car in your driveway, you really don't seem to give too much of a shit. Now, if your car dropped a transmission, you think about that every day for the rest of your life.
Sure. Yeah, I'm a callous fuck. What can I say?
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, it is what it is, dude. I mean, I just didn't do much today. And that's probably part of the problem, too. Instead of doing my normal working through like I normally do, I just fucking sat around watching TV. And just, I actually believe it or not, I took a day off and just kind of vegged all day.
Well, that's kind of unheard of.
For me, it is, especially with as much work as I have to do. But I wasn't in the mood. I'm fucking tired.
Well, after what you've been, the hours you've been putting in the last couple of weeks, I don't blame it. You get to the point of burnout.
Yeah, well, I'm well past that. I'm feeling like I'm on fire again. I'm just dead, man. I'm so tired. But I went out 3 times this week too, and I'm really finding out fast that at 49 in horrible health, my body is not made for being out every fucking other night of the week.
Or boozing it up.
And I did booze it up this week. Something awful. Oh boy. I made up for 3 of the 8 months that I didn't drink this week. Oh boy, did I drink a lot.
Yeah. Well, it takes a toll on you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna be one of those guys in the next 5 years that ages 40 years and 5.
What? You're 42? I thought you were like 70.
That's gonna be me. I'll be like 55, going on 96. Just looking just decrepit and wretched, and walking with a cane, and just waddling into the liquor store. Can I get some Boone's Farm?
Yeah, you'll be trying out for a position on the last season of The Walking Dead.
That's right. No makeup needed. I'll be a cheap hire.
Right. You just need to
slow and like shit.
You just show up on the set and you're ready to go.
Exactly. I'll just move like I do, which is as slow as the zombies, and and I'm all hunched over and gray. Perfect.
And you'll be groaning.
Yeah, I mean,
just with every step, it's painful. So it's just a natural groan.
Yeah, it'll be the pain of the ligaments in my fucking knees just aching at the thought of moving.
And you go.
know I'm dead, but can I have a knee brace?
Right.
Can I be one of the zombies that crawls?
Yeah, sure.
I can't walk anymore.
Exactly. You'll be the ones who lay on the ground and just gnash your teeth as people walk by.
Exactly. Picking at some wound on my face and accidentally cut a hole all the way through.
Exactly. Well, at least we know there's gainful employment for you if it ever got to that point.
Yeah, I'll never be truly unemployed, will I?
No. Even in sickness and in bad health, you could find a gig.
That's right. Of course. So anyway, what's going on with you, man? What have you been doing?
This week, it's the start of a new month. March is here.
Right.
And, it's just sales, just making some cash.
Yeah, you're turning into me. All you do is work.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it does consume about 10 to 12 hours of my day between driving and working and driving home and stuff. So, yeah, it takes up about half the day.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, not to the extent that you do.
Yeah, but I'll take what I do over what you do. Because Lord knows, my drive from my bedroom to my living room is not nearly as dangerous as you dropping into Southside. Fuck that.
Yeah, sooner or later you'll be driving a hover round from your bedroom to your office.
Instead of getting it on the stairs, I'm going to get one of those flat chairs and just have it guide me through the hallway.
Exactly.
Have it programmed to stop at the bathroom door too, just in case.
Yeah, since you love all your gizmos and you're really hooked into all the gadgets around your house, everything will be just automated.
In fact, what I'll do is I'll take the chair out and I'll hook a toilet to it. It'll just slide me right in and put it in place over the hole in the toilet so that I can take a dump and not even have to get up anymore.
Right.
Just lowers me in.
Exactly.
Back to the TV.
Exactly. And since everything is voice activated around your house, you don't even have to make as much effort as it takes to that old clapper. Remember, you clap on, clap off? You don't even have to do that. You just go, hover around, pick me up.
Hey, Google, wipe my ass.
So I see that you're exploring the Apple TV now. So not only do you have Fire Stick and Roku and Chromecast, now you're into the Apple TV.
Let me just tell you, I have 2 to 3 devices on every TV. I have let's see, on my bedroom TV, I have a Chromecast and a Apple TV.
All right.
On my living room, I have a Chromecast and an Amazon Firebox. In here on my little 20-inch, in case I need to be watching TV when I'm doing the show, I have, what do I have on this one? I have another Firebox. And my son has TV through his PS3, 4, whatever it is. So we have every gadget under the sun, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm loving the Apple TV.
Now, why did you choose to go to that platform? I know that, obviously you work with the iPhone a lot and you have the Mac computer sometimes that you work with. And so Did you just want everything to sync up or what?
No, I just wanted one. That's you know what it is in the last couple of months, I made an ass load of money and, I wanted to buy myself something, and I'm notoriously bad at actually buying myself anything. I never buy myself anything that's just waste, and I really kind of wanted to just buy myself something that had no real need or anything. I just wanted it. And, with me with the TV and the gadgets, I'm addicted to this shit. So I was like, well, I haven't tried the Apple TV yet, and I am sort of an Apple guy, so fuck it, I'll buy one. So I did. I went out and bought it. It was expensive. It was it $200?
Okay.
$199? But I wanted it. I bought that, and I bought the Apple AirPods for my headphones.
All right.
Because I needed those too. Instead of buying $50 headphones, I had to have the $160 ones.
Yeah, sure. 3 times as much, but three times the quality.
They are 3 times the quality. Those things fucking kick ass. I'll recommend that to you too, man. I know it's a price. It's kind of pricey for fucking headphones, but you being an Apple guy, you will love the AirPods. Well worth the $160.
Right.
They fucking rock.
Nice.
But yeah, I just kind of wanted to try it, and I did, and I'll be honest, I like it better than the other ones. It has a lot more cooler features.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Apple TV in a few years. My sister had one for the longest time.
Okay.
And at one point, I believe Roku was actually had better features than the Apple TV. So I'm sure that they've improved it quite a bit. But again, it's been years since I've actually seen an Apple TV.
The best feature on it, they have a feature, I don't even know what it's called. I guess it's called the TV feature. But what it is whenever you add an app to your system, one, it's clean. It's so much cleaner than Roku or Amazon, where those are both clunky to fuck with with the remotes.
Okay.
The Apple is very, very clean. But they have this TV function. And when you add an app, you add it to the TV function. And what it does is it keeps track of what you're watching instead of what channel you're watching.
All right.
So, like, my top row when I go to my Apple TV now is all these different shows that I'm involved with. You know, and you know me, I'm always into TV more than movies. So for me, anything that has 2 or 3, seasons, I'll generally watch. So my whole top row now is all these different shows, like the Shield, or right now I'm on this show called Power. That show is in there, and Sons of Anarchy is always in there because that's kind of my go-to-sleep stuff sometimes. All these different shows that I watch, NYPD, SVU, etc. And when I click on those, when I click on the show, it just opens the app automatically and goes to the show. I don't have to fucking remember where I was watching it anymore.
Right.
So, it's really, really good for, if you're into shows, it's great because Lord knows now, who knows what you're watching? Do you really know what you're watching it on? You just kind of turn it on and you happen to see something and you click into it. So for me, it's great because I started about 1 million shows and I couldn't remember where they were, so I just ended up quitting them.
I watch so much stuff, it just, one show just bleeds into the other one.
It does, man. I lose track of it. And, I'm staying more in tune with the shows that I'm watching because they're, every time I turn on my TV, it's right there. It's right there in my face. Oh, yeah, that show. Let me click that and watch that. Let me watch a new episode of that. And it tells me when there's new episodes and shit. It's fantastic, man.
Good.
I like it. And the Siri works great with it. If you could time out the intros to your shows, as I have, because I'm a total fucking loser, as soon as a show starts, like that Power, I'm like, fast forward 2 minutes, 18 seconds, and it goes right to the start of the episode.
So see, that's what I said. Your whole house is automated and voice activated to where you just, hey Siri, 2 minutes, 18 seconds.
Damn right, dude. Need that.
My Siri woke up just by saying that.
2 minutes and 18 seconds.
Thank you, Siri.
I just said that out loud here in the studio and woke my Siri up.
I'm surprised mine didn't go off. I've got both the iPad and the iPhone sitting right next to me.
Right. You're ridiculous when it comes to that stuff.
Dude, I right in front of me right now, I've got a 27-inch Pavilion MV, a 2017 iPad, and an iPhone 10. How many gadgets do I fucking need?
Yeah, really. How many gadgets do you need?
Apparently more than I have, because I still want more. Not going to lie, I'm online today looking for something else to buy.
Right.
Just because I want stuff. I don't... Dude, I'm turning into a chick. I really am, because I want to buy something, but I can't find anything to buy. I just can't. Today I must have scanned Amazon for 2 fucking hours.
You spent your time wisely.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe that's how I don't spend money, is because I look at shit and then I realize I really don't want it. because if I was impulsive, I would be broke. But today, I had to buy a Chromebook for the whatchamacallit, the museum today.
Okay.
So I bought the Chromebook, and I was like, well, while I'm here, let me see if I can find something that I'd like. And I'm just dicking around. Next thing I know, the third or fourth episode of The Shield is running. I'm like, fuck, I haven't bought anything. I'm just sitting here tooling around with this fucking app. Myself carpal tunnel on my phone.
Nice.
Looking for something, so then I just gave up.
Well, I guess your addiction to your gadgets is probably akin to my at the time when I was building the show and the studios and stuff, was mine buying the equipment.
Sure. For
this studio, and of course the stuff that you have on your end.
Yeah, got all great stuff. That's for damn sure.
That's why our sound is so much superior to everybody else out there.
Well, not everybody. I mean, Eddie Trunk has better sound.
Yeah, but he doesn't buy his own equipment.
No, of course not. Commitment to your own thing? Never.
Right. Yeah, why would you do that?
Never. Why would you do that?
Exactly. Well, speaking of Eddie Trunk, since you brought that up.
Yes.
We've gotten a lot of Stevie Rochelle love on Metal Sludge.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we got just a very, very, very minor mention from a Eddie Trunk fan who asked him if he knew who we were.
Yeah, which was funny.
Yeah, he goes, I don't pay attention to that stuff.
The fans were very upset about that.
They were upset about that?
I got quite a few messages from people saying, Eddie Trunk fucking dissed you, man. And I was like, by saying he doesn't know who we are? I mean, yeah, that's a lie because he's done the show twice, but, and he's fucking met you a dozen times or half a dozen
times, yeah.
So, I mean, he's not being honest, but I didn't think he was dissing. He's just doing what everybody does when they don't want to deal with. Anybody that is afraid of confrontation does that same move. I've never heard of them. I don't know. They're so far beneath me that I've never heard of them before.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they all do?
For the most part. I mean, I didn't, I heard what he said, and it wasn't like nothing. It was just like, I don't know who that is. It's just a bunch of people out there.
Mm-hmm. Anybody can be on the internet.
Right. And that was about the extent of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the way I was. I was like, because I'll be honest, when I first got the first message from our one fan that recorded it for us,
John Phillips, yeah,
I was completely excited.
Okay,
I won't lie, I was like, fuck yeah, this is great.
Yeah,
I love when people hate us. Sure. I hate when people like us.
Right.
And it was, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
Right.
And then when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's not good. Yeah, exactly. I was like, Jesus, man, come on. Don't tell me that Eddie Trunk dissed us. And then, first of all, it's a fan. And second of all, he said, oh, I've never heard of them before.
That's not exactly a diss.
Yeah, that's hardly a diss. That's just a lie. But okay, whatever.
But, Stevie and Metal Sludge went full force.
Mm-hmm.
And, posted all of our segments that we ever done.
I know.
We'll put a link up there to the each segment.
Yeah.
And
apparently Stevie has more of a problem with Ed than we do.
Well, apparently. I mean, I wasn't aware that it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But it apparently is. But he did give us big headline on Metal Sludge. I mean, I don't know how popular Metal Sludge is these days.
Yeah.
I mean, it obviously doesn't do the numbers it did, 15 years ago.
Sure.
But anyway, he his little line here just kind of made me laugh, and I got an email from Sammy from Red Rain.
Okay.
He thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And he just basically says, let's see here. Aiken, a self-admitted shock jock, and usually admits to being a ruthless prick, is always a great listen when he gets on a roll. Considering Mr. Aiken thinks so highly of himself, you can only imagine some of the output from him on the show. Neeley also a bit sharp at times, but he does not deliver the knife to the jugular style that Aiken does.
I love that.
Yeah.
That alone made me smile all week long.
Yeah.
Just seeing that description of what I do, that's fucking hysterical.
Yeah. Stevie, obviously a Chrisophile.
Apparently so. Well, I love that. I thought it was funny, and it's funny because I really don't think that I'm that hardcore. Maybe I am. I don't know.
Compared to the average person out there, I mean, you do say a lot of things that most people would not do.
I guess. I just say what I think.
Well, I understand, but most people don't say what they think. They temper whatever it is, or, they I don't know. They kind of censor themselves, maybe.
Yeah.
And, especially when it comes to the show, where anything goes.
Right. I guess not being a pussy is hardcore.
Well, I guess so. But, I mean, we do live in a very PC society, which, people sort of frown on that viewpoint.
Well, you do. I ignore it. I don't live in it. I keep running my stupid mouth, and then if people don't like me, they just leave me alone. That's the way it works, and I'm okay with that. That's fine with me.
Well, I see that a couple of our segments from last week kind of ruffled a couple of feathers, and it did spur on some conversation, especially on the comments on the YouTube.
Yeah, I actually engaged somebody. I don't remember who, but I was going back and forth with somebody that said, what did he say? He said something like, I want to talk to you about other topics sometime and get your perspective.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm the guy to go to.
Yeah.
Because I'm the all-knowing Chris Aiken.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. Phone lines are open.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing is that people, they want to get into a debate. Mm-hmm. And when they finally find somebody or an outlet to get into that debate with somebody, then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, well, this guy's the guy to talk to.
Yeah. Okay. Bring it. Anybody wants to have a conversation about whatever topic, I think we've always said phone lines are open.
Exactly. But, I don't know. It's just interesting the perspective of some people when they, especially when they leave their anonymous comments on a story that we may have done.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That is fun when we're being told how bad we suck by, Jam Band 83. Gee, do I really suck that bad? Jam Band 83? Do I? Thanks.
Well, you are doing your show from your mom's basement, so that delegitimizes anything that's ever said.
You're definitely right about that. Obama's anal cavity 63.
So it was interesting reading some of the comments this week.
Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah, there were some fun. I sometimes, as with everything, especially on social media, and I guess YouTube would be considered somewhat social media.
Yeah, it's social media now.
Yeah. You have to do something to get people's attention, and I guess the term would be the clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
So when I'm cutting up the show, and we cover a subject, obviously I have to come up with some kind of a headline,
right,
for the segment that might grab someone's attention.
Says sales manager Wendell Neeley.
Right, exactly. So when I'm sitting here cutting up the show and adding taglines to it, the idea there is to get people who may not be familiar with the show and go, well, what are these two assholes talking about?
Sure.
And they engage, and then they go, well, I don't know who these two guys are, but,
either we like them or they're dicks.
Yeah, they're dicks. And more often than not, it's they're dicks.
Yeah, we get the calls from the people that like us because then they start listening.
Right.
But then, the ones that actually comment are like, you guys are fucking stupid. You guys don't say anything that isn't retarded. Okay. Fair enough. I always like the ones that say, I'm going to unsubscribe from this channel. No, please. Please don't.
Please don't go.
Don't scare me like that. Next thing I know, you'll give me a thumbs down too.
Exactly.
I do love when the fucking jizz buckets say that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I'll show you, pal. I'm not going to download anymore. Okay.
Well, as much as social media plays a part in modern society, you know what? I think I would like to go back to the days when that wasn't even a thing.
Oh, I definitely would. I fucking hate it.
Yeah. I see some young mother of two got dragged off and killed in the woods like a half a mile from her house due to a social media disagreement.
She got dragged off and killed?
Yeah, some young gal, she's like 23, like mother of two.
Yeah.
She friended some dude on social media, and I don't know exactly what transpired there. But he shows up at her house,
right?
To I don't know, to confront her about something she said on Facebook or something about this guy.
Okay.
And he comes by. I don't know if he like kidnapped her or if she willingly got in his car or not. They're still working out the details or sorting out the details. And they get into some kind of confrontation. He drives her away from the house. And get into some confrontation like a half a mile from the house, and he ends up beating her ass and killing her and leaving her for dead in the woods over a Facebook post. So
sucks to be her.
Yeah, I know, but it's that kind of stuff, that kind of mentality,
right?
So I wouldn't mind going back to those days. It was like, it was kind of cool in the beginning,
right?
But now it's just gotten to the point to where that's what so many people base their entire existence on.
Oh yeah, they do. They live in their social media. And I mean, I put a lot of shit out there, but I also put it out there a lot of stupid shit that's purposeful just to try and antagonize people.
Well, there you go. But you realize that there are viewers and people watching and participating.
Sure.
To where you can kind of rile them up a little bit.
Well, the funny thing to me is I always make it very clear that I don't give a shit about social media. I always say that to people when they get too fucking serious. I'm always like, it's fucking social media. It's not even real. I have real conversations with my friends, with my people that are close to me. Social media, I'm just, whatever. I'll say anything. If I know it'll spark somebody, I'm happy to just fucking rile them.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the end, the ones that get riled too much, I want to go away. So just stay out of my life.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you rile the wrong person, they might end up like that psycho that I was just talking about, who goes off and not that I'm saying that you're personally in danger. I'm just using you as an example. That people do that kind of stuff, and they end up crossing the wrong psycho out there.
Well, you know what, dude? There's 10,000 hours of me out there on fucking YouTube that could cause that to happen.
Well, that's what I said. I'm not specifically talking about you, but it does happen.
Yeah, I know. You can't worry about everything, man. You just got to live your life and not give a fuck. If I get killed today, I get killed today. If I make it to 70, I make it to 70. Who the fuck cares?
Thank you, Chris Holmes. Who cares?
Who cares? So I'll make it to whatever age I get to, and that's good enough.
Right.
I've already crossed everything off the bucket list. There's nothing you can really do to me now. I'm done.
So you're at that point, you've got to the point in your life. It's like, what can you do to me?
Yeah. Now it's just on cruise control because I've done all the shit I want to do.
Yeah. You're just maintaining at the moment.
Yeah. I'm waiting to die. I'm just sitting back waiting to die.
Well, let's have a happier note here. Okay. You went out to see some wrestling last night?
I did, man. I went out and saw NXT.
And I'm not a wrestling fan, so you're going to have to, bring me along on this journey. But what is it?
NXT.
NXT. What is that?
It is kind of like the minor leagues of the WWE.
Okay.
I mean, they have a show. They have a weekly show every week, and they build characters, and they It's the newer people, the people that most wrestling fans don't know, or the only people that really know these people usually are the people that follow the independent circuit, whether it's, the little independent circuit that wrestles in whatever neighborhood gym, all around the country, or, the bigger stuff, the Ring of Honor or TNA, or, there's some bigger promotions out there, and some of these guys were in those promotions, but to learn the WWE way, they send them to NXT to train there for a little while before they bring them up to the main roster.
Now, is wrestling still have the rabid fan base it used to, or has it tapered off?
It's definitely not Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock big like it used to be. I mean, but like next month is WrestleMania, and they're doing it at the Superdome, and they're going to sell it out. They'll sell out the Superdome for WrestleMania in Louisiana.
Okay.
Is that the Superdome?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is you mean in New Orleans?
New Orleans, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's where WrestleMania is going to be. So that's what, 75,000 people that'll go for that.
I don't know how many that holds, but now what can you see? Obviously there's the wrestling ring is what, like 20 by 20 or something, or maybe.
Yeah.
About that. So if you're way up in the nosebleed section of a Superdome, what can you see from up there?
Yeah, I wouldn't go to that. Not when I can just watch it for 10. You can pay $150 for a shitbag seat at the Superdome, or you can watch it for $10 on TV. I'll watch it on TV.
Right. So where was this wrestling event last night?
The Agora, Cleveland Agora. They it's hard to explain it because it doesn't make sense for what you would think for the Agora, but they kind of, on the floor, they build the ring, and then they built seats around the ring, and then the upper, you haven't been to the Agora, they just remodeled it. In fact, yesterday was the first day, it was the first event in the newly remodeled Agora.
Okay.
But if you think like the Cleveland House of Blues, how that's set up,
mm-hmm.
It's almost a carbon copy.
All right.
So they had like standing room to watch, or you could have ringside seats, and we had ringside seats, and we went, and we were so close to the action, like when they would slam them on the mat, our fucking chairs would shake. I mean, we were close. It was great.
Okay, and what interest do you have in going to the quote unquote the minor league of wrestling? Are you a fan of the actual wrestlers in this thing? You know these
Absolutely.
People by name?
Absolutely. Big fan. Big fan of the Velveteen Dream. Big fan of Johnny Gargano. Big fan of Aleister Black. NXT is better than the actual main roster of WWE these days.
Well, it's kind of like watching college football as opposed to the NFL, right?
In a way, yeah. I mean, these guys are they're working on their gimmicks. So they experiment a little bit more, which is great. By the time they get to the main roster, then it's all locked in and all scripted and shit, where they get up there. Like last night, you could tell some of them were just, winging it to see what would happen and what kind of buzz they would get and stuff. It was fun. And the fans, I will say, the fans are into it far more than they are into the main roster WWE shit. People were going fucking nuts last night, chanting and screaming and hollering. It was great.
Now, was it a full house?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, not that that's much. I mean, that's probably, with that big-ass ring in the middle, it's probably 1,000 people, but it was packed. I know this. Whoever fucking sold the ringside seats needs to be punched in their cunt. My God. They had 5 rows of seats on 3 of the 4 sides of the ring, and then the 4th was obviously where they walk out from.
Okay.
And, I mean, look, I know I'm a fat piece of shit, so I'm not a good one to talk about not having space. But I was with John's brother, AJ, and if he's soaking wet carrying a fucking log, he weighs 160 pounds.
Okay.
I mean, he's a little guy. And he couldn't fit his legs down to the floor to fucking sit in the chair. That's how tightly packed the fucking seats were.
Right.
It was retarded how fucking tight they had. And, of course, they had them all zip-tied together, so you couldn't adjust them at all. It was like, it was sold like shit. And I'll tell you, I was pretty fucking annoyed at $90 a ticket for fucking shitty can't sit down seats. I was pretty fucking annoyed with that shit.
So in the end, going to this thing,
yeah.
What did you take away from it? Just like, is there like a winner and a loser? How do they determine that?
Well, they have, it's like, as you know, wrestling is real. So,
yes. Okay. Yeah.
They have matches and, dude, it's just, wrestling is one of those things that is just, it's fake, but you don't give a shit. That's the whole thing. You just kind of lose yourself into the characters and getting into, chanting and screaming and hollering and just kind of letting loose a little bit. It's like a concert kind of, where you just kind of forget about the outside world for a fucking couple hours. And that's what it was. We went down. I met AJ and our friend Joe like 2 hours earlier. We went to some place called what was it called? Burgers and Beer, Burgers 2 Beer, something like that.
Okay.
And we went down there, had a half dozen beers, and went over to the Agora and had another half dozen beers. and watched some wrestling and screamed and hollered and chanted and just had fun.
Sure.
Just cut loose for a few hours.
So basically it was just a dude's night out where you just got together with your buds and just hung out and got stupid.
Yeah, for me it was a get stupid night. For those two it was a get away from the women night, which works for me. I'm happy to be the excuse to get away from the women. It's much better than being the guy without the woman that shows up and is the fucking eyesore to every wife. Don't get too close to him. He's fucking single.
Right.
He's going to teach you bad things. He's going to get you wanting to do things you're not supposed to do now that I've got you. I mean, now that we're married.
Right.
I'm that guy for many, many, many of my friends. Their chicks fucking hate me.
Right.
Because I'm a loose cannon.
Yeah,
I guess.
well, welcome to my world.
Yeah, but the difference is you're actually a mannered man in real life.
Yeah.
Not here on the show, but in real life, day to day. And I know that sounds terrible. A mannered man. Boy, does that sound. Nothing more gay has ever come out of my mouth than that. But you're a respectable person in company.
Yes, correct.
And I am Radio Chris pretty much all the time. I don't change that much. I can fake it for the 3 minutes of a phone call for business, but by and large, and this, dude, when you just come to hang out, I'm still the, hey, what the fuck are we doing guy?
Right.
I'm not a well-mannered person. I would think that you could fake it enough around, your chick's friends to where they wouldn't be like, wow, that guy's a fucking asshole. Where I've had numerous people that have told me, once they get divorced, ironically, that, man, my fucking wife hates you.
Yeah, nice.
Dude, we were talking about one last night. I won't say her name, but I had a friend that is now divorced, shocking, that every time I saw her, she was a monumental cunt to me.
Right.
I mean, just a cunt. And I was always cordial to her and to the point that, I don't know if I've told this story or not before, probably not, but Stephanie had her birthday at a restaurant / bar, and she invited like 10 sets of couples to the bar or to the restaurant. Well, we were all just hanging out, drinking or whatever, and people started flaking off because they ran out of money. So I just picked up the tab for the dinners. This, whatever it was, $200-300, whatever it was. I just bought for everybody because I didn't want the night to end.
Yeah.
And this wife comes up to me and goes, at the end of the night, goes, I appreciate that you did that, but I still don't like you very much.
Oh, well, okay.
I was like, okay, thanks. And the reason that happened, the reason that was a thing I found out was because her at the time husband, now ex-husband, is his favorite band is Seven Dust.
Okay.
And I called him kind of spur of the moment one night and asked him if he wanted to go and do an interview for me with Seven Dust so he could meet his favorite band.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and I've interviewed Seven Dust 24 times or whatever. So, you know, I was like, you know, I'll do my friend here a solid. But she hated that he just took off and left. And I guess the way the story goes is she gave him that old, "Oh, so you're choosing that over me?"
It's always a competition, isn't it?
She gave him that fucking line.
Yeah.
And he went anyway. So that, of course, made me the bad guy.
Right.
For the rest of my life. It's like, what did I fucking do? You know, I knew he was a fan. I asked him if he wanted to do it. He could have said no. What am I, his fucking keeper? You know, it's like, God.
Well, I see a lot of this. I was at the grocery store the other day.
Yeah.
And I see these women who are quote unquote in charge of the relationship as it is.
Yeah.
And I see this couple walk in, a younger couple, and immediately they walk in, she grabs the cart, she's walking 2-3 paces ahead of this guy. This guy is just basically following along like a child, you know.
Yeah. Why am I here?
And basically he stops at one of the one of the shelves there, one of the cooling shelves.
Yeah. Get some apples or something.
Well, yeah, exactly. But this one had like energy drinks in it.
Okay.
And he's basically going, "Honey, would it be okay if I got a couple of these energy drinks?" Instead of just putting them in the cart and saying, "We're buying these," it's, "Would it be okay if I got a couple of these energy drinks?"
Honey, can I spend $6? Can I spend $6 while you spend $240?
Right.
You know, is it okay?
Yeah.
Can I get a Slim Jim too? Please?
Yeah. Ugh. He was one of those hipster guys, had like the full beard thing going on, you know, and I just saw that and I was just like, oh no.
Dude, I say it all the time. The best marriage in the world still has more compromises than I'm willing to do. The best marriage, whoever your friend is that has the best relationship in a marriage that you know, that guy still compromises 50 times more in a week than you would be willing to being single. 50 times. Being married sucks a bag of dicks. You know, because let's face it, you get married half the time when you're in your 20s. If you get married in your 20s, and I'm speaking out of experience on this, you're getting married because you like fucking that pussy. And that's why you're getting married, because you don't want anybody else to fuck that.
This is why these wives hate you, man.
Well, too bad. That's just the truth. But what ends up happening is once you've hit it like 50 times, then you're bored with it. And then you realize, man, I'm stuck with this bitch. What am I going to do? You know, and that's that guy in the grocery store. He's tired of banging her, and now he's willing to grovel for fucking, because he doesn't want to have a fight. Because groveling and looking like a pussy is less aggravation than standing up for himself. And that guy that you saw in that how old would you say that guy was?
I would say
20?
he was probably in his mid-20s, yeah.
Yeah. By 30, he'll be divorced. By 30, he'll be divorced, because at some point he's going to be like, "Fuck you, you stupid cunt. I'm buying goddamn stock in Gatorade. What do you think of that, you whore? Fuck you." You know, that's what's going to happen. He will divorce that bitch at 30, and then she'll run her goddamn mouth about what a piece of shit he was.
Right.
You know, it's like, ugh. You know, they just suck, man. Being married just fucking sucks. It's such a bad deal. I can't think of one reason to be married now. Can you name one quality reason to ever step into marriage again?
At the moment, no, not that comes to mind. I mean,
yeah, is there a perfect scenario somewhere deep in your mind that if that scenario came up, you would marry another woman?
It would definitely have to be a very unique situation. I mean, you know, obviously marriage for a lot of people decades ago fulfilled a purpose.
Yeah.
For people who wanted to raise families or whatever, but everybody's so independent these days that they make their own way in life, that there's hardly this need for what you want to call codependency.
Yeah.
Because everybody's so independent these days. You know, everybody. The opportunities out there for both men and women these days is just wide open. So, you know, I'm not only speaking for myself, but I'm sure there's a lot of women out there who feel the same way that you do. That it's like, why do I need that? I make my own money. I have my own house. I got my own way. I do this. I do that. You know, why would I do that?
Yeah. The only reason I could possibly give, and it's certainly at its best, it's not a reason to get married, but it's probably the only thing that I miss about being married is home cooked meals. I get tired of fucking eating out, you know, to where I can't even, I go into phases where I can't stand the thought of actually cooking anything. But at the same time, I can't stand the thought of going to a fucking restaurant either. You know, you just get tired. Restaurant food has its own unique set of ick, even if it's a decent restaurant, you know?
Sure.
It just is. And, you know, like on whatever day this week, Thursday, when I was out, Kelly made me like a really fucking good meal, like a really, really good steak and double baked potato thing. And it was fucking amazingly good. And I was like, God damn it. I miss that. You know, not enough to get married, but I certainly do miss that.
Right.
You know, but other than that, I can't think of any other reason. I don't need some chick with a second income. I don't need a house. I don't need, I don't need approval from a parent. You know, I don't need to make my parents happy. I don't need, and I don't even really need the built-in sex. Just go buy that if I need it. You know, I mean, fuck. You know, I can either buy that, or I can buy a real doll at this point. I'm making enough money where I could actually afford one of these fucking. Well,
there's what you're gonna do with all your expendable cash. You can go buy one of those new animatronic dolls.
Dude, when they come down, when they get discount priced, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna tell you that now. I'm not willing to go $4,000. $4,000 is a little too much. I'm not gonna buy some cheap one that's like a half a step over a blow up doll. But when they get the quality ones where the tits feel real, I'm definitely $2,000 is my number.
Right.
At $2,000, I'll buy one. Can you imagine going into the bank to finance that?
Yeah, I'm going to buy a real doll.
Yeah, I need a loan so I can get some pussy.
Right. Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
What's up, guys? It's Wes.
Hey, what's up, Wes? Long time no hear.
Yeah, I know. I took 2 weeks off before I was going to call you guys about the cruise. I've been listening to all the teachers fucking the kids, and I didn't want to interfere with that.
Very nice. Well, of course, for those of you who are long-term fans of the CMS, Wes is our guy on the scene who has attended or has sailed on a few of these rock cruises, and if he probably had one of our best segments of 2016 where Def Leppard fucked Wes. So what's going on there, Wes? Tell us all about it.
Well, this cruise was actually really good. It was
what cruise was it?
Was this the recent Monsters of Rock cruise?
Yeah.
Okay, this one took off out of Florida, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was an extra day, and they had 2 days of like pre-parties at the casino where bands performed and stuff. So it was a pretty long process, and then I guess Stevie talked about the 80s in the park, and that started the date. Like basically the ship arrived at the port, got off, and a lot of the artists had to go perform that night.
All right, and this is the cruise that was hosted by Eddie Trunk, as well as the what does he call himself? He calls himself the Ayatollah of Jack and Cola.
Oh, Chris Jericho?
No. The one of the XM.
Luke Carl.
There you go. That's Luke Carl from XM.
Oh.
Well, you don't need to mention anybody else when we talk about Eddie Trunk. You know better than that.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. So anyway, when did this all begin for you? Did you go to the 2-day prior to the ship launch?
Yeah, we flew in to do that because my wife wanted to maximize all of the things that she can maximize on that environment, I guess.
So what did that include? What do you mean she wants to maximize the environment? So what did you guys...
Well, just being around all of that and drinking and seeing shows. She doesn't want to miss out on something.
I hear you. What bands played at the pre-parties?
Queensryche played. That Pink Cream 69, I know you interviewed one of the, I think the lead singer for that right before that. Y&T played. And the GNR Girls Tribute Band played one night. A few others.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I was pretty impressed with the lynch mob thing. It was pretty cool seeing that.
So did Robert Mason sing for Lynch Mob?
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Well, I would hope he would.
They played, you know, like they were enjoying themselves, not like they were going through the motions. So that was nice to see.
How many Dokken songs did they play?
I know they did at least 2, but George went into playing like a couple more, and Robert said, "I have no idea what the lyrics are."
I don't know the words.
But George was just on fire with it. So that was pretty cool to see.
Excellent. All right. So anything that stood out for you on the pre-launch shows at all? Any wacky activities that happened, or any kind of run-ins with anybody?
Not really. It was pretty smooth as far as that goes. Like I said, this cruise, I guess, is how they're actually supposed to go. So it was a good experience, and I can't give a story like Aussie Ace gave about somebody dying in a swimming pool or something like that. And trying to write Kip Winger and tell him I'm heading for a heartbreak or something.
Right.
But, yeah, nothing like that.
All right. So then the cruise boards, and so how did that all go for you? How did the actual cruise go?
It was like a much easier experience. They let it, for some reason, on this cruise opposed to the others, they let you bring 2 bottles of booze on, so you didn't have to just pay for booze on the boat. So that was a bonus. The first day we were there, the first thing Melissa wanted to do, she wanted to go do a photo shoot. So that's what we did on that. We didn't get to see Kicks, but then we kind of started watching shows after that.
And who stood out? Who were the good bands of the weekend or the week or whatever?
Queensryche was really, really good. Like I said, the Lynch Mob show we saw was really, really good. They had a lot of Q&As on it also, which were pretty interesting. We went to a few of those, and the Tesla one was really, really interesting. Jeff Keith could be in Dazed and Confused. He's just got this, like, yeah, man, personality the whole time.
Yeah, he's a hippie guy. He's a real peace-loving, animal-loving, hippie, groovy guy.
Yeah. And I was thinking about your segment, this is from a few years ago, I think, about wondering if Dave Reed was a full-time paid member or how he was, but I wasn't going to ask that. I didn't want to disrupt anybody, but that did come to mind. But I saw him play twice, and Dave Reed he plays like a motherfucker.
Yeah, when he first started with the band, I saw him about the first year with the band, and he didn't really play much, but now I guess he comes out and he does some solo work and stuff. He actually does almost equal guitar duty with Frank Hannon.
Yeah, and the two Tesla shows were by far the best. I mean, I know they were like the top band on there, and you can see why Def Leppard and whoever else continually brings them out on the road because they're really solid for all the way around. Like there's not like a missing piece on that band. It's well-oiled machine.
Right. Now, was LA Guns on that cruise?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I missed them because they both of their shows were like at midnight, and by the time from like 9 o'clock in the morning until about 12 hours, and I was kind of running out of gas on that. So she caught one of them one night, and I didn't catch either one of them, unfortunately.
Well, they are the Hollywood vampires, after all.
Yeah, and I do hate that I missed them because their new album was really good. It was kind of reminded me of when Rat released their latest album like 6 years ago, how it sounded like what you wanted it to sound.
Fits right in the catalog. So overall, Wes, you said this was a good experience. Was it well worth the money spent?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got the dough to spend to be in that environment, like I said, I don't know how. I mean, I've been doing about 7 or 8 years, and I don't know what people used for that Def Leppard and how that fell apart so poorly. But this is they got their shit together on this.
Now, what kind of cabin rooms did you get? Or did you get like a balcony room, or were you an interior cabin, or how'd that work for you?
Yeah, we had a balcony room, so we had room where we weren't ready to, stab each other. We were trying to take a leak and blow dry your hair and tie your shoes at the same time. So
right.
We were able to get away from each other.
Excellent. All right, cool. Anything else?
No, I just wanted to mention the Stevie Rochelle did last week was really entertaining, and he came off well and very truthful. So it's good that, as always, you guys are the medium for people to be honest about things. So.
Right. Now, did you see Eddie Trunk?
Oh, yeah.
Did you say hello to him, or was he inaccessible?
No, I stood back and just it's fun to watch Eddie and watch people come up and I think I don't know if Stevie said they want to lick his ass, but you see a lot of that, and you see him kind of shoo him away. So it's really funny. It's very, and like Chris said last week about he was never the cool kid that's the cool kid. Like all of that shit is very true. Watching that interaction with people,
right?
So.
Well, will you...
you guys don't come off like that at your extravaganza that you'll have in a couple of months.
Well, will you go to another cruise?
I'm leaning more toward doing it again because this one went so smooth. But I wouldn't say for sure, but it was a pretty good experience.
Good.
Cool.
Well, good. I'm glad that you had a good one over the last couple.
Yeah, definitely. It was a nice change of pace, not to get off the ship and feel like I couldn't walk from just getting banged out.
All right, Wes. Well, we appreciate you checking in and giving us some update on the latest Monsters of Rock cruise.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say one more thing, if I can, real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Before my man tells me to get off. There's been like a lot of new callers that have been calling in that really do a bad job, and I don't know what the fuck their problem is. But anybody that knows this show should know that you're going to get your balls busted the first 5 minutes. So don't fucking call and not have a point. Don't talk over the host and have your shit ready to go. If you got to, write it fucking down. Because they come off like dumb fucks. And they say, I love the show. I've been listening to it forever. And then they just they fall all over your fucking words. And they don't know the fucking bits. Fucking dumb. So step up.
Words to the wise. Or the unwise.
Man, make it count.
It's funny.
All right, Wes. Well, thanks for the update.
All right, guys. Hail and kill.
Hail and kill.
Thank you, pal. And job.
All right, there goes Wes.
There goes Wes.
Yeah. Went to the Monsters Rock Cruise.
And calling out the new callers.
Yeah. Telling them how much they suck.
That's funny. Look at Eddie Rocks in the chat room. Yeah, like Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis. Hey, man!
Gotta agree with Eddie there.
All right, I think it's time for a short break.
Yeah, I'll say what we do, an hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Then we got. I'm sure you have tons of stories. I actually have one or two musical type things.
Okay, well, we'll do those when we come back.
Okay.
But
did you get the one I sent you
when did you send it?
yesterday or the day before? I said just kind of keep this thing available.
Yeah. I have that.
Have that one, and then I've got another one that we can do either before or after that one.
Okay. I'm pulling it up right now just to have it ready.
Okay. And then if you have other stuff too, we can do. Well, we can talk about the docking too.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
People need to know our take.
Right, exactly.
Everybody's been clamoring all week. What do the guys think of the new docket?
Right.
Is it overdubbed? Is it bad?
All right. Our good friend Sammy Lee, speaking of Dockin', they're opening up for Dockin' a couple of times this month.
Yeah, Jurgles sold out.
Is that right?
Yeah, Jurgles is sold out.
On a Wednesday.
Yep.
Wow, look at that.
Yep.
Well, they're playing, our good friends Sammy and the boys from Red Rain are opening up for Dockin' on March 14th, and then again on, the 16th?
Yeah.
In Lynchburg, Virginia.
Right.
So they're playing a couple of dates. Well, prior to Red Rain, Sammy was in a band called Seth, which is how I got to know Sammy so many years ago.
Sure.
And I know this is a song that's a favorite among some of the CMS fans, especially Demon in the chat room.
All right.
And this one comes from Seth's little EP release from almost 20 years ago, from Behind the Green Door. And this one is just called Demons. Here
Sweet.
it is. It's Seth exclusively here
On your classic metal show.